Hi, my name is Kate. I'm also known as Two Little Kits, and welcome to my FlossTube. I've got some works in progress to share. I have a finished piece that is a little different from my usual that I can share, and not much else, which is kind of good, I think, because it's getting late again. Let's get started. I need to sneeze so bad. It's gonna happen when I'm in the middle of saying something. I just know it. Anyway, where should we get started? I think we should start with the finished piece that I have, because it is a little different, and I forgot what I was going to say. That's a great start. Anyway, it's this piece here, which is a little lap blanket for my daughter. It's not blocked at all. I don't really know how to block things, so I just kind of stretch it whenever I pick it up. But it's, gosh, I don't know, how big is it? Let's measure it. It's about 22 inches square-ish. I made it. I made the whole thing. I did it all by myself. I'm pretty proud. I was working on this last year. I basically finished all of the inside of it, so all the granny squares. And then she picked for the border this white or off-white kind of creamy color. And I was like, really? I couldn't figure out how to make it not look terrible for a long time, and then I found this I think it's called a moss stitch or something. So I just did like 2 rows of the white, then 2 of the green, 1 of the white, 2 of the blue, and then I was going to do 2 white again, but I showed it to her when I was working on the last blue row. She was like, no, just finish it there. So that's where we ended. There is one big mistake that I'm kind of miffed about, and it's here. So you can see all the squares have this like crease in between them because of how they've been sewn together. Well, this one is upside down, so the crease is on the wrong side of the blanket. So I'm kind of bummed about that, but I only discovered it when I was doing the blue border, so I was almost finished. I don't know how to undo it and redo it in a way that won't require me to break the whole blanket or undo the whole border, so it's gonna get left like that. So we flip it around like that, and then it's down in this corner here, so you can't see it. But that's what I made. I made it for her, and she loves it. She took it to school a couple of days this week. She forgot it today, which was lucky for me, so I could show it. I made it, yay! So obviously that's not cross-stitch related, but it is crafty related, and it has stitches because it's crochet. I'm just folding it up, never mind me. So yeah, little lap blanket. I think she picked some really nice colors. I would not have picked the white or the cream, as I said. I suggested a purple that I thought would go really well, especially with the blue in this. And it was the same brand. Let's flip it around because that broken one's there. These sort of like merge into different shades of each color. And it was a purple one of that. And I thought it would have looked really nice. But I think I did it all right with the border. Let me know what you think in the comments. So there's that. That's my finished piece for the fortnight. I'm really glad to have gotten that done. And I decided this past weekend, so the one before when I released this, that I would get it finished because we finally got snow. And I'll talk about that in a bit. Let's move on to works in progress. We'll stick with the theme of crochet, just briefly. I have not been working on my lap blanket. I actually don't like how it looks. You can go back to a different FlossTube of mine. I will try and remember to put a link, I think it'll be up there. Yeah, up there probably, to that FlossTube where I showed my work in progress of that, but I don't like how it looks. I think it's awful. So I am considering frogging all of the squares, doing one of those invisible knots for each color, like, because each color is its own section. So connecting all the colors back together and reusing the ball to make potentially a different lap blanket, but just not granny squares. So it would just be a regular blanket kind of thing, but just lap sized. Anyway, this is what I'm working on instead, because I have this beautiful ball of yarn here, which is a Karen cotton cake. Yeah, I'm making myself a little scarf. It is pretty wonky. It's pretty wonky. I think this shouldn't have been here. This little cluster shouldn't have been there, but that's the bottom of it, so I'm not going to undo it. I'm just going to live with it. That's the beauty of making stuff for me or my family or whatever. If I make a mistake, it's like, meh, just leave it. So that's my little scarf so far. It's going to be quite long, hopefully. I've got lots of yarn. I want it to be long because I want to have all of the colors in it. So I printed out the pattern. Well, I made a printable version of the pattern. And it's like, I'm up to row 7, I think. Yeah, and there's 205 rows. So I should be fine. It's called a granny rose scarf, sorry. So I started working on that last night while my oldest was at speech therapy. And that's as far as I got in 50 minutes. So I was pretty impressed with that. That was a chain to start with, and that's rigid. But this is like, woo! On this side, it's like, it's really stretchy. Anyway, I'm rambling. I don't have time to ramble. So there's that. What else do I have? Let's do my flower field. Flower meadow. It's different. Here's my flower meadow. I am caught up as of today. So I have 38 flowers now. And as you can see, we did our little signpost. I'm doing the same thing I did in the flower field and doing the little monthly posts, which will be every 2 months from now on, because they point to the previous month and then the next month. And so I've already done February. So the next one will be March, April. As you can see, we got some snow on the little sign, and we got snow on the one flower that fit there, which I'm very lucky was a tiny little flower. And then we've got snow on every single flower since, because it has snowed every day in February for us so far. And I've kept the white on the needle, and that's just in case we don't have any more snow tomorrow, so I can just like finish off the snow before I do the next flower. But we're expecting a lot of snow tomorrow, so I will likely not need to do that. I will likely be stitching snow on a flower tomorrow. Oh, so I'll hold it up for a bit longer, hang on. So that's where we're up to. We have 2 rows already, which is pretty cool. We've had our first double, actually. So these 2 pink ones here, they're the same color next to each other. We've had a lot of this red. It's actually a dark pink, sorry. So today's flower is this dark pink. I've had that quite a few times. Yeah. Anyway, ta-da! The next work in progress I have is my car project, which I haven't done much on. That's probably because I haven't really sort of sat in my car after dropping off the kids at school very much. Like, I've noticed a lot lately, or like this year, I guess. I have sort of spent 20 to 30 minutes just sitting in the car, listening to whatever I'm listening to, and just like, whew, for whatever reason, and stitching. So yeah, I've been working on this, but I haven't done much of it, like I said, this past fortnight. So I'm still working on part 2 of this stitch along, which part 6 gets released this coming Friday. So yeah, I'm very far behind. But yeah, this owl is coming along nicely. I love the staff that it's holding. I think that's really cool. I think the owl's going to look really cool. It's just got lots and lots of colors. And I love how the owl's cape has come out on this fabric. I think it just looks very pretty. If I go like this. There we go. Pretty. So yeah, there's that one. No, not my last one. The next work in progress. My next work in progress is Pretty Little Seattle. Sorry, I should backtrack a sec. That one I just showed you is The Secret Grove by Needlelot Designs. The flowers is my own pattern, which is Flower Meadow. You can find that on my website or in the description. The crochet stuff I will try and find links for to put them in the description. But let's continue. So this is Pretty Little Seattle by Satsuma Street. I have been mostly stitching this whenever I've been cross stitching. So this is really close to being done. I'm on the last bunch of colors because this one I've just sort of been grabbing a couple of, oh, hang on, sorry. Let's move that out of the way. I've been grabbing like half a dozen colors that are coming up and working through those, and then once I finish those colors I would grab the next half a dozen colors. So I'm on the last lot of colors. So one thing that I'm pretty sure I didn't share last FlossTube was the Snowtop Mountain of Mount Rainier. So I did officially change the color of that. There's two colors actually. So I haven't done the white in it yet because I'm not up to white yet. But the lines themselves were one color, and then the gap, what am I trying to say? The stitch that would be on top of the white was a different color, but I just made it all the same. It's like a the lightest bluey gray that I felt would work. So it's slightly off from the clouds, if you can see that. Hopefully you can. But I think it will look so much better. Fingers crossed. Anyway, that's Pretty Little Seattle. It's actually looking like a little city now, I feel. Let me know what you think. And my last work in progress is a new piece. This is a commission that I received. I think I mentioned in the last FlossTube that I might get this, and I did get it. I will also show you the design that I have, but this is where I'm up to so far. So yeah, this is a commission of, how do I explain this? So I'm not very well versed in the movie. I haven't seen it myself, but it's 5 mice from the movie The Muppet Christmas Carol in, I believe, a song that was introducing Scrooge. And these 5 mice sing one lyric or one lyric a couple of times in it. I can't remember. No cheeses for us Mises. And my client, his wife really loves the movie and loves that line, and yeah, he wanted to get a piece made up for her birthday, which is later this month. So now that this has been approved and the design's been approved and everything, I'm actually focusing on this instead of the Pretty Little Seattle. But this is what I've done so far after 2 days, I think. But that's 2 days of having my kids at home as well. So that's why not a lot has happened on it. Plus I did get distracted with the scarf yesterday. I should have been working on this, but I forgot to bring it, and I had that with me. It's on this fabric because part of the design, part of the scene is that the mice are in hay, and because they're little Muppets, so they're going to be in something. And so there will be little hay strands sort of in between them and on the sides of them, but this fabric is sort of a mottled look. And when I was going through my fabric stash before I emailed my customer, I was like, I basically said we need to use this piece of fabric because it was perfect in my opinion. So yeah, that's my commission that I'm working on. And that's all of my works in progress. I think. I haven't worked on a couple of things that you've seen recently, such as Night of the Frost Dragon. I haven't touched on that, mostly because it's just really dark lately, and I'm working on that on black fabric, if you don't know. So yeah, whenever I've wanted to stitch something that was easy, and that's not easy to work on at the moment. And the other piece that I have lately is the Haunted Library. That one's really close to being done. I probably could have actually brought that up to share where I'm up to. I just forgot. I am working on the last like 2 colors of that, I believe. I haven't done any of the back stitching, so there's also that, but I'll get to that once I finish all the cross stitching. But that'll come later because I need to focus on this commission. So yeah, some Two Little Kits stuff. I have one of my test stitchers, Jessica, is working on my next cross stitch pattern, and hopefully that will be released on the 17th. I still need to sneeze, which is really annoying. Yeah, so I'll be able to show you the design for that. I don't have the finished piece, the photos for the finished piece just yet, but that's okay. I will be able to have them before I release the pattern itself, so that'll be good. I really like the vibe of this pattern. I hope that you do too. Let me know what you think in the comments. And this one's part of my Adulting Sucks collection that I have going on, and ties in well with the look and feel of all of the other ones too. So I will link the collection in the description below so that you can check those out if you want to. I also have some new blog posts on my website. I have 3 that I've taken note of, so hopefully I haven't forgotten any. I have a blog post that talks about my latest pattern that's available, which is Losing Side, and that one's called Creative Resistance, Cross Stitch Your Way Through Tough Times. And it just kind of talks about my personal thoughts and feelings on the state of the world at the moment, and the pattern and why I made the pattern. So check that out if you're interested. I have one that seems to be really popular at the moment, which is excellent. You know, I always hope that whenever I write something on my website that it's actually useful for somebody. But it's called How to Photograph Finished Stitches. Yeah, it just talks about, it's aimed at beginners and how to photograph your pieces in a way that will show them, what's the word I'm thinking of? Show them in a way that like shows the piece itself properly. So like if they were looking at it in person, it would sort of compare similarly to that. I hope that makes sense. Just because I see so many people taking photos of amazing pieces that they've stitched, but the photograph is just so bad. It just makes the piece look really amateurish. And yeah, so I've been meaning and wanting to write this piece for quite some time, and I finally have. And the last piece is it talks about my most recent Stitch People portrait that I completed. So my first finish for 2025, the This Is Us portrait that I shared last FlossTube. It's called I Stitched a Meaningful Family Portrait in 10 Days, the story behind This Is Us. I did get AI to help me with that title, so apologies because it's kind of cheesy, I think. So that post has lots of photos in it and just close-ups of the piece itself, and I'm actually going to be editing it today if I get some time, which I should, and I'm going to be attaching my Instagram posts that I just recently did today into that post to kind of tie it together. But I may end up embedding a different post, maybe like a threads post on it or something like that, because I have not been able to figure out why Instagram won't let me embed my own posts on my website. I have all of the settings set up correctly. I've double checked it maybe 10 times to make sure that it should enable embedding on websites. It just doesn't. It's so frustrating, and it's been like this for at least 2.5 years now. It's just so it's obviously something on Instagram's end, because my website has changed in that time. Yeah, and I can embed other people's Instagram stuff on my website, just not my own. Anyway, that's my little mini rant on that, because that is a rant of mine, a pet peeve. It's getting rid of my chewing gum because I don't want to inhale it. So yeah, those are the new things on my website. and the new things that have to do with Two Little Kits. I don't have very much going on just because life. I've been meaning to work on some new cross stitch pattern designs. I haven't. I've been meaning to make more improvements on my website. I haven't. I have really needed to work on my new Etsy store and filling out the catalog of that. I haven't. Anyway, let's move on to IRL stuff because that's all I have left to chat about. So as I've mentioned a couple of times, we actually finally got snow on the 1st of February, which was, I guess, sort of unexpected in a way. I don't know, like I knew it was going to happen, but it was also like surprising. I can't explain it other than that. That sounds really dumb. But it meant that last weekend was kind of fun, kind of tricky as well. There wasn't too much snow, thankfully, but we did have plans for that weekend, and that was we went to the movies to see the new Dogman movie. Both of my kids, but especially my youngest, are big fans of the Dogman graphic novels, beside themselves with excitement about going to see the movie at the movies. So yeah, we did that. We made it a whole fun event. You know, ate too much candy and got fancy seats and everything. So yeah, that was cool. And they both loved it. I haven't read any of the books personally, but it was kind of fun to watch. So yeah, if you've got young kids that are interested in an enjoyable, silly movie, I recommend it, definitely. Yeah, the girls played in the snow a bunch, and what else? I thought we did something else on the weekend as well. Apparently not. I don't remember. But the other things that's been happening is I went back to martial arts 2 weeks ago, which has been tough, to say the least. After the first day back, it took my body 2 days to not be in pain. I was so out of practice and so unfit, and I just hadn't moved my body in that kind of way in so long that I was just aching everywhere. It was oh man, this will pass, but I can't, I don't know how to explain it. But I was fine 3 days later, which makes me feel kind of old, I guess. Next week is a stripe test, and I'm not ready for that. And I didn't make it to class yesterday because we had a big downpour of snow, and it was there was no school because school was cancelled. So I didn't get to go yesterday, which is kind of a bummer. Fingers crossed I'll be able to make it tomorrow. I'm actually thinking and potentially going to walk there tomorrow, so that I don't have to worry about driving in the snow and parking, and if it does start snowing while I'm there, then I don't have to worry about driving home after having an easy drive there. And yeah, anyway, that's a whole word vomit, just to say that I'm back at martial arts and it's really nice to be back. It was nerve-wracking again to go back, but yeah, all my friends are ahead of me in belt now, which is a bummer. Not that far ahead, thankfully. But the other thing that I have been up to is I started physical therapy for my foot, which is incredibly painful. I've had 2 sessions so far. I went there this morning and my toe's still like unhappy about it. I'm glad that I did get my stuff together and finally book an appointment, because she's given me exercises to do to help relieve pain, and she's pointed out how I can help myself, not with exercises but with like pressure and rubbing and all of that kind of stuff, because it's just all tight, or my whole foot is just really tight, and part of that is causing the pain, so we suspect. So yeah, I'm back at physical therapy, and I'm seeing the same person that I saw ages ago, so that's nice. But that's kind of it. I have stuff going on. I'm looking at my calendar right now. Lots of stuff going on over the next following 2 weeks. Oh, one of them will be exciting too. It'll be the day that I record my FlossTube. It'll be the start of the frame for another stitch along. So that's exciting. but there's another part release for Night of the Frost Dragon, which will be part 6 as well, apparently. And I'm really far behind on that still. I'm only on part 2 for that, which is kind of a bummer. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for tolerating my rambles and other things. Thanks for tolerating me. Hope you like my top. I think I love this top. It is so big and floppy, and it says on the sleeve it's okay to slow down, and down here it says but still trying. I love this top. I will actually put a link in the description of where I got it from. I don't know if she still sells them, because she kind of does limited edition runs of clothing designs, but the quality of her clothes that she gets is amazing. Like, there's been a couple of times where I've actually thought I've ruined this top while cooking and stuff, and there is like some oil marks on the bottom from splashing of oil, but it could be worse, and it's not. So anyway, I'm still rambling. Stop it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment with your thoughts about any of the things I've talked about in this video. That would be amazing. But until next time, I will see you around the internet. Bye.